So Bossa Nova, who is one of the former editors at No Jumper, he exposes Mr. Yernamin for selling him a dream in order to sway him over to FMW, when in all actuality he didn't have work for him, and it was Adam 22 who reached out and helped him support his family. It's interesting being that there's a narrative out on Trell right now, and hearing this from someone who's been impartial, unbiased, and you don't really hear much of Bossa Nova being messy or quote unquote chasing clout. So he stated how during the time of turmoil for No Jumper over the mass exodus of all the employees, he stated how he felt that there was uncertainty there and that he might have to be leaving, but he enjoyed working there. So basically he went with the general consensus, and he wasn't too sure of being there. So with that being said, obviously Trell told him that he had work for him once they left. There's going to be opportunities. And he stated that it was weeks since they left and he never got that call. But let's hear it from his perspective.
Like behind the scenes, it's like, we're not here to fucking choose a side. We're here to fucking film shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, it was just up in the air on like what the future of the whole brand was. Yeah, you know, like what people's jobs would be.
Yeah, I respect that. I mean, there are these allegations going around that there's a mole in the camp.
Like if there were even jobs to be like a thing still, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like during that time there was a lot of like, what is it, like a drawback or like basically like a reorganization of just like what's going to be the future and what's our goal for the future.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's kind of where everyone's head was at. But you're saying you wanted to quit, but then got let go because you said just like all the concerns, which were valid concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had that conversation with them and were just like, these are my concerns, yada, yada, yada.
Basically their mindset was like, if you're not,
if you want you to be like 100% bought in.
Exactly. Yeah. And I just wasn't. I could say I was like 50-50 type shit. I was just overall worried. So, and then that happened.
But also too, like,
so basically what I get from it was more coming from a place of worry rather than not wanting to be there or not enjoying the environment.
I feel like it's important to note too, like you still technically were working with all them, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, a couple. Well, I'll address it all in one. But the Trell.
So here's when he addresses the Trell situation.
Clip I saw on Reddit about how they were kind of clowning on me. I don't really care. It's all entertainment.
Now, a repetitive narrative. They were kind of clowning on me. So it must be everyone else. It must be everyone else. If everyone else is saying that you're doing this, but you're saying elsewise, it must be someone else. And this is from Bossa Nova.
But I just don't like the fact of them saying that they had work for me, because I've been gone from No Jumper, if you count November, like 7 months. Within those span of 7 months, I didn't get hit up not once for work for them. But a couple weeks after I was removed from No Jumper, I was sent work by Adam.
Listen, man, the reason why I fell in love with this craft is the ability to articulate yourself and the exchange of information and all of these things, the nuances that go into conversation. And when someone can be unfiltered and just say straight up how they feel is something that I have to admire and something that I commend. He says straight up, you told me that when we leave here, you got a job for me, you got work for me, you the big boss, Adam's the little boss. But in reality, when you left, you ain't had no place for me, or nothing on the floor, you ain't had no opportunity. Then Adam reached out to me and put money in my pocket. You're in a mean, right? Ain't that every time you're in a mean?
Adam and the whole Plug Talk team reached out to me. They were like, we need this, this, and this. I told them my rates, no budgets on my rates. Like, they paid me whatever I wanted. And then we got to working like the same day they hit me up. So like, there was still a lot of water under the bridge with that relationship. And that kind of led into me being back at the store because, well, first of all, I heard murmurs of that going around the store opening up. But ultimately, bro, like, I'm freelance. So like, my job as a freelancer is to chase work.
It's contract.
But yeah, in this clip, basically, it was just kind of highlighting the fact that there's this repetitive narrative out there of Trell kind of being the aggressor and then playing victim, or not playing victim, but being overtly, in a sense, like over aggressive. You start off aggressive, and then when someone says the slightest big back, it's like, oh man, you can't go there now. Now it's like it makes no sense. So when someone as unbiased as Bossa Nova is letting you know, like, damn, you told me you had this, and this is my livelihood. I got a family to feed like yours, right? And you telling me when we leave here, I got plays for you. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna look out, right? And then you ain't never call me. So imagine how that would make you feel as a grown man being sold dreams.
And so I knew there was some type of relationship. It was a little rocky, but there was still a relationship connection with Adam.
And it was Adam who came back around. It was Adam who came back around and looked out for ninjas. So Adam's this horrible guy. Adam's this, and that. Even after you left, even after all that, they punched down and tried to kick me while I was on the ground. I got you. I get it. It was bad timing. But he still came back around and looked out and put money in your pockets. You said you gave him a quote on your rate. No budget. This from Bossa Nova mouth. So when they over there talking about Adam, this and the same guy who, gave y'all the blueprint on how to podcast. But yeah, interesting. What do y'all think about Bossa Nova letting the record reflect on Trell?